The first year of each phase requires a footprint report, and an annual report has to be submitted for every year of the phase. The report covers the reporting period April 2010 through till March 2011, and the time to actually submit the report is between April 2011 and the end of July. The reporting process is to report on the CRC energy usage during the reporting year, and it ties in with the energy sources that were identified when you drew up your footprint report. In the annual report, you'll be reporting on the energy supplies that you've used during the previous year. First of all, you cover the core energy supplies of gas and electricity, and these will always be reported in kilowatt hours. You will then need to assess whether you have to include residual energy supplies, and if you do need to draw up a residual measurement list, then the amounts of energy will be reported in the units that are shown on the fuels list. These may be in litres or tonnes or kilowatt hours. For renewables, you just report on electricity that you have generated and supplied. You don't need to purchase allowances to cover the emissions from renewable electricity. There are 4 tick box questions regarding the disclosure of information by a corporate organisation, and it's voluntary to respond to those. These will be reported on alongside the Performance League table. The data must be kept for 7 years after you've submitted the annual report. The registry will be available from April until the end of July to submit the annual report. Every participant must report on their core energy use of gas and electricity, and if their core energy use does not meet the 90% threshold for reporting, then they also have to report on residual measurement, which is from the list of other fuels. You also need to include any changes to your CCAs, new CCAs or CCAs that have ended. If you generate electricity from ROCs, that's Renewable Obligation Certificate, or from FIT, the feed-in tariff, then you need to account for the electricity that you've generated and that you have received those credits for. If you have generated and supplied any electricity and you are claiming an electricity generating credit, then you need to report the amount of electricity that you've generated and that you're claiming as a credit. The additional disclosure of information is to do with what you report as part of your corporate reporting activity. The information will be from your billing, your invoicing and your meter reading information. A good place to store the information is the source list tool, which we have published and made available on the Environment Agency's web page. This you can use year on year to store all of your energy information. You will also need to go to your energy supplier to get an annual statement of energy that's been supplied to you. And the time to do that is from the end of March 2011. Suppliers have got a 6-week deadline to turn around and provide you with a statement. Because it's quite a big task, and although you've got until the end of July to submit the information, if your group is a large and complex organisation, then you will obviously have many sources of data to collate. So the earlier that you get in and start the task of compiling your annual report, then the easier it will be for you. If you're reporting renewable energy, then it needs to be reported in kilowatt hours, and the difference there between reporting in the annual report and registration is that for registration you reported your qualifying energy supplies in megawatt hours. So remember that for the annual report you're reporting in kilowatt hours. Residual fuels, if you need to make a residual measurement list and report on residual fuels, you should check with the fuels list what is the unit of measurement to report on, whether it's tonnes, litres or kilowatt hours. When you've input your core fuel sources, then the registry will calculate whether you've met the 90% threshold, and it will signal to you if you need to add in any residual fuels. If you're using any fuels that are not shown on the fuels list, then you should report those in the unit that is shown on the invoice. It's important to remember that the annual report is a report of CRC energy usage only, and it matches the energy usage that you defined in your footprint report. It's a report of your activities, so it's by each type of fuel. And lastly, the thing to remember is that your annual report is where you will actually define the number of allowances that you need to purchase. On the Environment Agency web pages, you'll find a full guidance document on compiling and submitting your annual report, as well as the source list tool, which you can download, and guidance on compiling the evidence pack.